School's Out definitely gave the world what Alice Cooper was. But what's next not only brought the band to a whole nother level of popularity, but gave Alice his first #1 album. He slowly was building to this, and it culminated with Billion Dollar Babies. And the album was made to look like a snakeskin wallet. If you open it up inside, there's a picture of the band with a little baby with the makeup. Billion Dollar Babies was a #1 album across the world, and produced many of the traditional Cooper songs. Probably a classic opening song is the kickoff song on the album, "Hello Hooray." It just sets the show's tone perfectly. Hello, hooray, let the show begin. I've been ready. Ready as this audience that's coming in here to dream. And I mean, it's a great song. The follow-up is, it's a tongue-in-cheek song, but it's kind of controversial at the same time. It's a song called "Raped in Freezin'," and it literally is, it's a guy that gets raped and left freezing down in New Mexico. Or Mexico, I'm sorry, not New Mexico, Mexico. And then, Elected follows up, and that's, of course, a great song that Alice plays a lot during a quote-unquote election year. Traditionally, he had one of the very first music videos that accompanied this song. At the, back when Billion Dollar Babies came out in '73, there wasn't a lot of places for music videos to be playing. Midnight Special and a few shows like that. Alice's Elected music video was a full concept music video, and it was, a play on the old Elvis for President thing. Well, Alice was elected. But it's a fantastic song, and he always brings out the American flag, or whatever country he's in, he'll have their flag. Then the title track, and as he's always said, it's based around the drums, and Neil Smith was just genius on the drums when this song came out, and it's awesome. I mean, and usually one of two things will accompany the song. You'll either have a baby doll of sorts, or usually nowadays it's the sword with the dollar bills, the Alice Cooper $1 million bills, $1 billion bills, and all that stuff attached to the sword, and then he'll fling the sword out, like this, and the bills will fall off into the crowd, and people have a souvenir. I have yet to catch one. It's my goal. And then we follow up with Unfinished Suite. Oh God, the worst trip to the dentist is what this song is. Say my teeth are okay, but my gums gotta go, and oh God, and then that drill, and that gets to so many people. And I still think one of the best parts of this is you hear the James Bond theme song as part of the guitar riff. Very cool, very cool. No More Mr. Nice Guy came from this album. Still one of the greatest, just angst-ridden songs, and it, as Alice has said, it's fashioned around the Who's Substitute, and then followed by an underrated, seriously underrated song that he really needs to play more of, and that's called Generation Landslide. I just love that song, and I tell you, he really needs to play that live more. He did a remix of it of sorts years later for his Special Forces album. When we get to that, we'll discuss that, but very cool nonetheless. And Sick Things, that's it. It's the Kiss has the Kiss Army, and Grateful Dead has the Deadheads, and all, or whatever they call themselves. But Alice Cooper has the sick things, and we couldn't be prouder. In fact, he had a great quote back in the day: "The sicker you get, the sicker we'll get," and all that stuff. And it's just a great little line. I love all that stuff. But yes, the sick things, it just more or less is describing a wide variety of his favorite things. And the snake usually has a lot to do with this song. Mary Ann, very quirky little song, and as far as I know, that's the one song from $1 Billion Babies he has never played live. And it's a shame too, because I think it would fit in any of his tours. And finally, the execution of Via the Guillotine, I Love the Dead. While friends and lovers mourn your silly grave, I have other uses for you, my darling. $1 Billion Babies is definitely a favorite of mine. My enthusiasm for Killer obviously was just insanely phenomenal, and for good reason. I love Killer. It's just a fantastic album. School's Out and $1 Billion Babies are absolutely stupendous albums. Do not get me wrong. And all the songs that come from them are just... But my top 5, so far we've only covered one of them. And we will get to the others. One of them's coming up very soon, but it's just, Alice has a wide variety of songs. And it's great to be able to pick from so many of them, and just different tastes for everybody. And I love mostly, because most of these are the ones he plays now. And it's just that you hear these so much that even though you never get tired of them, it's nice to go for something unique, something different. And some of his best work came later, even though, as a lot of people will say, the early Alice Cooper group stuff is definitely his definitive work. But I think a lot of his best stuff came out when he went as a solo artist. But yes, I leave you with this. School's Out on a scale of 1 to 10 gets an 8 out of 10. $1 Billion Babies gets a 9 out of 10. These are both fantastic albums. And the only reason, they should get, in my mind, they actually do get 10 out of 10. And things of that nature. It's just that when I'm trying to compare them to other albums that I do like more, those other ones will have to get the 10 out of 10. But I digress. Nonetheless, Alice's genius still continues on. And next time we will be covering the final album of the Alice Cooper group, Muscle of Love, and briefly touch on the Alice Cooper Greatest Hits CD that was issued after the original band broke up and before Alice launched his biggest production to date at that point. So I leave you with this. I love the dead before they rise. No farewells, no goodbyes. I never even knew your now rotting face. While friends and lovers mourn your silly grave, I have other uses for you, my darling.
Just a little insane. A couple shots, I can't feel no